Super big apologies for the short video today, as I am currently dealing with health issues and computer issues. It's been a time lately. For today's video, since I'm having to put some of my bigger projects on hold due to the aforementioned issues, I wanted to talk instead about a funny little experience I've had over the last year and a half. This topic was actually going to be a totally different video, and one of the first that I ever planned for this channel back when it started in 2024. However, this video will never be made because my opinion of things has changed very drastically. But let's start from the top. I'm going to confess something that I don't think I've ever actually confessed on stream or in a video. At least not in detail. I actually used to despise Zelda dungeons. I thought they were objectively the worst part of Zelda games for a long while. Although I did really like Twilight Princess's Arbiter's Ground and Wind Waker's Dragon Roost Cavern. I did like those. I didn't like dungeons for a long time though, and they kind of put me off from trying a lot of Zelda games. Let's talk about why. My childhood was the fairly typical, grew up as a gifted kid, but instead of burning out, I just had, wait for it, yep, good old trauma. It pretty much derailed a good portion of my life. And then the burnout happened. Not to trauma dump or anything. During this time, when my life was derailed, a lot of stuff fell through the cracks about my health and about my education. A lot of my teachers, I think, kind of suspected something was up because of my grades being so weirdly unstable. However, I continued to just try my best, even through college. Despite experiencing these weird fatigue spells and frankly even memory issues. My grades were also just very hit or miss in college, though Skyrim releasing was partially to blame for that, and it really wasn't until well after I'd graduated with my degree that I realized that there was something actually really wrong with me. My level of forgetfulness, my level of inattention, my level of just not being able to get up and do things was not normal. It was just 2 years ago that I finally realized I potentially had a neurodevelopmental disorder, and lo and behold, I got tested for it and I passed the test with flying colors. Is it passing the test if you get diagnosed, or is it failing the test? I'm not really sure. Anyways, I have ADHD, and I went basically 30 years without any sort of treatment or help for it. Some of you might be wondering how this relates to Zelda. Some of you might see where this is going. I really liked the Zelda games as a kid, but I did find them to be incredibly challenging for reasons I later learned were not entirely universal. Remembering the dungeon layouts, even with a map, was honestly a massive struggle for me. Trying to recall what rooms I'd been in and had completed versus rooms I hadn't became a very big problem, and I oftentimes spent hours just hopelessly lost, trying to figure out what the next progress point even was. I've talked before about how much I adore Wind Waker and how much I played it as a kid, and that's definitely true. But most of my hours playing Wind Waker as a child were spent sailing around the Great Sea, if I could even make it past the twists and turns of the freaking Forsaken Fortress and its god-awful stealth section. The result of me having these experiences with older Zelda dungeons made me dislike them. While I enjoyed the characters, the music, the world building, and the gameplay, I just got really frustrated at feeling lost and confused all the time when I was exploring a dungeon. What kept me wanting to play the games, however, was the overworld exploration. That honestly became the highlight of gameplay for me and why I think I gelled really well with Wind Waker. Getting to ride Epona around in Twilight Princess especially was super enjoyable, to the point where I would just do that for hours on end. But the thought of redoing some of those dungeons, especially that god-awful lakebed temple, was enough to deter me from ever trying to do a second full playthrough after my first. I had no issues at all playing Breath of the Wild or even replaying it, and I think that's because it featured the more bite-sized Sheikah shrines and the more straightforward divine beasts. But when it came to the older, linear Zeldas and their dungeons, being unable to retain and focus on what needed to be done in each room just tarnished that experience for me. Until recently. I did not say this when I started my first Ocarina of Time run on stream in 2023. But I was very, very nervous about doing full playthroughs of the older linear Zeldas because I just had so many bad experiences in the past of, again, just being lost and confused in those dungeons. I did have one of my mods, who is a big Zelda fan, sit in chat to help me out, but it's interesting because while I did need help with understanding some of the mechanics, I found that having started medication and treatments for my ADHD to improve things such as executive dysfunction and memory retention, I was able to play through the game much easier than ever before. And I had tried to play Ocarina of Time before. I suffered that same lost and confused feeling. After trying Ocarina of Time again, I had such a great time that I decided to try Majora's Mask for the first time ever. And I had an even better experience with that game. It's now my second favorite Zelda of all time. Yes, I did need some guidance from chat members, and I still do ask them for help sometimes when I don't recall something. But I found that as I played through these games, that I didn't hate the dungeons anymore. And funnily enough, now I actually like the older Zeldas more than games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I even do randomizer runs of them now. Ocarina of Time has become one of my most streamed games, period. Now that I'm actively working on things that I struggle with, I found that the frustration factor has gone away. And now, these games are just legitimately more enjoyable. Except Skyward Sword, I still think those dungeons are just straight up boring. I'm not making this video to be a giant advertisement saying that everyone needs to get on medication to fix all their issues. Everyone should just do what's best for them. But I did want to make this video to talk about something else that is important. And that is that it's okay for your opinion to change. I was so dead set on making a video about why dungeons were confusing and a slog and easily the worst parts of Zelda games. It was going to be one of my first videos on this channel, like I said. But this video is never going to happen. And it definitely felt some kind of way when I deleted it from my ever-growing list of video ideas. It didn't feel bad, mind you. I just had a moment of thought where I kind of mourned all the years where I've had to deal with these things that I've had to deal with, and without any sort of help. How many things did I try and found frustrating that I'd probably like now? It's kind of sad to think about, but I'm glad that in the end, at least I gave the Zelda dungeons another chance. Thank you for watching today's video. It kind of feels like we ended things on a sad note though. So please enjoy the next few seconds of me dancing to the best Zelda song in the entire series. If you would like to support the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button and liking the video. It really does help me out. And let me know in the comments if you've ever picked up a game after disliking it or some aspect of it, but found that your opinion changed over time. I love to hear these kinds of stories. Please take care of yourselves, eat some good food, stay hydrated, treat yourselves nicely, and don't get any earaches. They're no fun at all. Bye-bye. See ya. Bye-bye. And cut. Okay, I think we got that one. It's gonna be under 5 minutes, right? It's a short video, right? Right? I recorded how much dialogue?